these are Luna and Boltz, as you guys can probably guess. And this is where Lori will be able to answer questions. If you have questions about these specific pups care or pups in general care, about Luna's recent surgery that she had, any of those questions, go ahead.
Well, we're going to try to set her down a little bit. The surgery is this back leg here, and she's still on restricted movement. This is going on the 4th week, but nobody told her that. And our problem is she's too active in here, so we don't want her to re-injure herself. And so we kind of are doing this trade-off. Usually the first program, she's kind of crazy. So Luna is an appropriate name because it's short for lunatic, and that's kind of how she acts. So she's, like I said, she's on restricted movement, and we're trying to keep her from getting too much excited, but she likes to, this is the only time she gets to be with her brother, stepbrother. So it's kind of exciting for her, and she wants to dominate him, and she wants to play with him, and so we have a trade-off. We're trying to let her have some social contact, and yet still try to protect her. So we'll hold her for a little while, and then, you know, for his sake, because she doesn't get to dominate him much, she's getting kind of rough with him, where she grabs him and head shakes him. That's a predatory behavior. So we got distractions in here. This pillow, I think, is too high for her. She rolled off of it. So I'll put that here. So anyway, so basically what had happened, these pups are part of a normal process for us. Every 4 years we socialize wolf pups and integrate them into the exhibit pack. We don't breed wolves here. This is every wolf here has been spayed or neutered. So when we want to get pups, we get them from another facility. And then what we do is we critically socialize them, or socialize during the critical bonding period, which roughly starts around 12 days of age, and will run till about, they're about 3 months of age. These guys were whelped way early. Normally every litter here was, the earliest we've ever had was April 24th. Boltz was born March 17th. So we have an incredibly different set of wolf pups this year, meaning that they're far more advanced and far more developed. And Luna was whelped on March 25th. And when she came to us, she was about 20 days old when we got her. And she, we noticed that early on that she had a little bit of mobility problems. We weren't really sure if that was just, you know, again, being young, which young puppies tend to be a little wobbly, or if it was in fact something else. And she rolled off one of these risers here, which is typical for puppies to run. We let them run up and down the stairs to develop their muscles. And she rolled one day and just kind of sat there, and then wouldn't put weight on the leg, and didn't whine, didn't yell, just sat there. So we took her to the vet clinic and did x-rays, and lo and behold, she fractured her femur. And she you know, normally fracture her femur from rolling in carpeting. Turns out she has bad bone density. And she was a litter of 9, so that could be something that she didn't get enough nutrients competing with other litter mates. We're not really sure. So we took her down to Maine University in St. Paul, did surgery on her on May 16th, put a plate in that femur. Now we have her on some real high concentration, especially vitamin D food supplements, which she doesn't like. She's very particular, and she's kind of got a little attitude about everything, including her supplements. But next Tuesday, we are scheduled for a follow-up set of x-rays to see how that plate is holding up. And then the second thing that we're going to look at is are we making improvements on that bone density? We never had a wolf like this before, not certain, you know, what's the nature of that and how it was created, and we don't know how long it's going to take to recover. I mean, she's got a very high concentration of supplements that we give her every day, and by her activity, we think it's working. You know, we can't keep her down. This is not a sickly pup. It'd be a lot easier if she was kind of, if her, you know, her leg issues were kind of in line with her mobility, but they're not. So the challenge that pup care staff here have, like I said, Boltz wants to see her because they're never together. In the lab, they've got a small area. We keep her in smaller than this to keep her mobility down, and then this is the only time that they're together, so they get a little goofy there. But basically, this process, and you're part of it, you know, getting them used to people, getting them used to flashes. These wolves are born in captivity. That's where they're going to stay. In order to have adults who are that tolerant of people at the windows and activity, we have to immerse them in human contact. These guys have not been unattended since April 13th. 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. You know, it's a long process yet. We anticipate probably July 30th will be an introduction. We don't know yet about Luna. Boltz for sure will be ready to go in with Denali and Aiden. I don't know about Luna because we have to get very clear that bone density. Did he just steal that from her?
No,
No.
he has still got it.
We have to be very clear that that bone density is solved, or she's at least got well on her way, because we put in a pup that's a little bit weaker. They're going to notice. The good thing about Luna is that what she lacks in physical statute, she makes up in attitude. So you don't necessarily need to be the biggest. If you've ever been around a poodle, sometimes poodles can be very dominant over bigger dogs, and that's because their attitude usually is, we call it the little alpha syndrome. You know, the smaller you are, the more you toss her. So that's kind of how she is. But anyway, so basically, like I say, this process is ongoing. They're hovering around. He's around 27 pounds. He lost some weight yesterday. He's been gaining a half a pound a day. And he lost some weight yesterday. We're not certain about what that is. We ran a fecal down the vet that's actually on the way down to look and see if it's a parasite problem. We don't think so. He seems pretty well healthy, but it just may be one of those things that kind of occur, you know, as a growth spurt. You have a growth spurt and then you slow down a little bit. It's unusual that he lost weight. The other thing is he's so squirmy on the scale. I'm not necessarily certain that the scale is, right. Sorry. Put you down with the piranha. I'm not necessarily certain that the scale weights are all that accurate because they're bouncing around trying to get them to sit on the scale unless they're asleep. Is kind of trouble. So like I say, that's part of the process. I'm actually pleased with. I mean, we're less than 4 weeks from a complete plate on that femur. I'm impressed that the way she's walking. I'm still need to get a little bit of muscle development, but you know, you have a trade-off when you confine somebody for surgery recovery. You end up having to do some sacrifices in muscles. If you've ever been injured, you know, and you lay around for a bit, your atrophy of your muscles is pretty fast. So we're at the point where if we can get her released from that surgery restriction, these will be together all the time, and hopefully they won't be so nuts with each other. That's a lot of just food possession kind of issues. So, hard to have that for her. He's had enough of her. So what we're going to do is we're going to swap out. That's enough. Wolves are very possessive of food. They have a right to guard and possess anything and anybody who has to get. I'll get it. Yes.